Welcome to the New Energy event series. My name is Mike Bennett. I'm the VERTO New Energy Coordinator for the New Energy Apprenticeships Mentoring Program, and I'm really pleased to introduce VERTO's New Energy Community Engagement Consultant, Mike Bandyle. So good morning, Mike, and you yourself trained originally as an electrician before joining VERTO. So what inspired your initial interest in an electrical apprenticeship?
Yeah, correct. I did. So the initial inspiration wasn't as interesting as most people put it. So I was going through year 10 at high school, not really sure what I wanted to do over year 11 and 12. I was quite fortunate in year 10 to undertake some work experience with a local electrical contractor, trying to pique my interest into the industry. From there, we were really fortunate to gain some school holiday work with them. So positive was getting paid for doing it, as well as obviously getting that exposure to the industry as well.
So what was the process that you went through to actually secure an electrical apprenticeship?
Yeah, so the process was quite straightforward. I did a pre-apprenticeship through year 11 and 12 at high school, and that was run by a company over in WA called Electrical Group Training. So part of that program was an agreement that when we passed the pre-apprenticeship, that we would then be eligible to get indentured as an apprentice come the year after we finished in year 12, essentially. So that's pretty much the gist of it. Obviously, we went in and did all the pre-screening, making sure that we weren't colorblind, made sure our hearing was okay, all that sort of stuff, and did pre-employment medicals with them as well. Obviously, with the trade being so physically demanding as well as mentally, it was pretty eye-opening to do that sort of stuff as well.
Okay, so a little bit of work experience in school, then you went through the pre-apprenticeship process, then you applied for an apprenticeship with Electrical Group Training, who are a group training organisation, so they're the legal employer, and they place you with a host employer. So once you were placed, what sort of duties were you undertaking on a day-to-day basis when you initially started your apprenticeship? What would a typical day look like?
Yeah, so when I first started as an indentured apprentice, I was fortunate to be placed with a smart home installing company. So a lot of our stuff was brand new houses. So we were doing anything from the final fit out, where you come into a house, nice and clean, and fit off all the points, to the other side of it where you would be there when the walls go up. So we'd be going through brick for conduit runs, getting all muddy and dirty. At the time when I was staying with my parents, they were extremely happy for me to come home every day being all dusty and stuff. So they ended up buying me my own washing machine to do my washing in, rather than ruining my mum's one. But yeah, typical day was pretty much starting 6, 7 a.m. depending on the time of year, and essentially meeting at the workshop, finding out what jobs we had planned for the day and coming out and doing them. So they can vary from just your basic electrical installs to fit outs to digging trenches. I've got a really good exposure in my first year to various areas of the industry, before being placed in my second year with a local contractor who I stayed with for a year and a half, I believe.
So that's the beauty of the group training model, is that you do get to experience a couple of different host employers, so you get a variety of duties and a range of experiences through your apprenticeship. But part of your apprenticeship journey was obviously college attendance. So can you tell me a little bit about your college attendance? Which college did you attend, and what did a day look like at college?
Yeah, so I went to Beaconsfield TAFE, which is just outside of Fremantle in WA. So most days we were starting at 8 a.m. and finishing by about 3, 4, depending on how the day went. But majority of the time there, the first half of the day, we would be spending with bookwork. So any sort of exams or anything like that we would do in the morning, and then the practical portion of it would be the afternoon. So whether that was fault finding motors or wiring switchboards, It all varied from year to year. Obviously, first year was a lot about safety, learning about the hand tools and the basic ins and outs of the industry. And then towards the end, it was more, yeah, more high level electrical. So your motors, your fault finding, essentially gearing you up for that stone at the end of your 4 years.
So you're attending college 1 day per week over 3 years. You're developing all of the knowledge and the technical fundamentals, I guess, of both domestic and commercial electrical applications. So the apprenticeship being 4 years, your college is 1 day per week for 3 years. And through that time, in your own experience, did you have a mentor or somebody that you leaned on for advice?
I wouldn't say I had a formal mentor, but I was fortunate enough to have a family friend who acted as that mentor figure for me, especially between the second and third years of my apprenticeship, where I wasn't too sure whether I was going to push through and complete the apprenticeship. He essentially sat me down and listened to what my concerns were, where my head was at. So that was really beneficial in relation to that. And, even till today, he still calls me on the occasion and has a chat just to see how I'm going. Obviously, well, beyond that portion of my life, but it's always good to have that sounding board, essentially.
Yeah. So you had that support to progress you through your apprenticeship, and obviously now you're immersed in the New Energy Apprenticeships mentoring program that VERTO is coordinating nationally. What do you think are the qualities of it or the characteristics of a good mentor?
Yeah, I think the most important quality for a mentor is someone that's able to listen. 90% of my time when I spoke with our family friend, it was a case that I just needed to get something off my chest. I wanted to be listened to and provide feedback where necessary. Obviously, part of that, obviously being a good listener, you also have to be a good communicator. So various different ways that you can do that, obviously verbally, with your body language, all that sort of stuff. But outside of that, obviously knowledge. A lot of apprentices that are going into their first year don't have that knowledge base available to them, and they may not feel comfortable talking to someone within their workforce about questions that they may have. So the main thing there is just knowing that there's someone there that you can talk to about what's happening. So generally speaking, with a mentor, they're generally within the same industry as you, so they have that knowledge base and they know what you're going through. So that's always a benefit as well.
So obviously the focus of the New Energy Apprenticeships mentoring program is on those longer term discussions around career pathing beyond the apprenticeship. So what are some of the career pathways that are available in the electrical industry once you qualify as an electrician?
There's countless opportunities. I know it's really cliche, but once you've finished your apprenticeship, the world's essentially your oyster. Myself personally, I stayed within the housing industry. That's what I did pretty much throughout my apprenticeship, and that's what I really enjoyed. Obviously, that creates a lot of wear and tear on your body, crawling through roof spaces and whatnot. But that's what I really enjoy. But you've got your big commercial projects as well. Like, for example, in Newcastle here, you've got the Hunter Hospital expansion, where they are employing so many people on that site, and there's such a lot of work going on it. And then you've got your mining industries as well. So whether that's underground, your open cut mines, all that sort of stuff. And then obviously the clean energy industry, which is just going from strength to strength at the moment, and more projects are popping up everywhere.
So upon reflection of your own apprenticeship experience, what advice would you give to anyone that's considering doing an electrical apprenticeship themselves?
Definitely showing initiative and eagerness to learn. Just really reflects well on you as a person. When you are there, you're wanting to learn these things. You're not wanting to sit behind and just watch someone else do it. See that, you ask for help. There's no such thing as a silly question. When you're first coming into an apprenticeship, as much as you'd like to know things about it, you may not.
Yeah.
There's so many tangibles involved, especially with an electrical, that it's best to ask those questions and ask for help when necessary. Be honest and own up to any mistakes that you make. 99.9% of the time, your tradesperson is going to be happier that you have said, look, this is what's happened. How do I fix it? Than trying to just let it slide. Off that, prioritizing safety.
Yeah.
With electrical, you can't hear it, you can't see it, and you can't smell it. That was the one thing that was drilled into us at TAFE.
Yeah.
Safety is paramount. So regardless of who is switching off a circuit, you always go and double check that. Because there's nothing worse than that feeling if, for example, you went and turned off a circuit and someone's just come back as you're walking back towards where you're working and someone's flicked it back on. So obviously a lot of things have changed throughout that time, where now obviously everything has to be locked out when you're working on it. Apprentices obviously can't work on anything live as well, which is a positive thing. And you get taught to double check circuits as you're working with it with your testing pens and whatnot. Anyway, and the last thing would probably be on time.
Yeah.
So show some initiative in that sense, and both for on the job and TAFE, the employer and your TAFE trainer are providing their time to educate you in a trade. So the best thing you can do there is be on time and being respectful to their time as well.
Yeah. So a structured way to earn while you learn. Countless opportunities post-apprenticeship, particularly in the clean energy sector, with the industry going from strength to strength and demand outstripping supply. So lots of opportunities. So Mike, thank you very much for your time. If anyone is interested to find out more information, it's www.verto.org.au. Thanks again for your time, Mike.
Thanks for your time, Michael.